everybody.
Hi.
It's Rob and Peg here from Rainy Day People. Glad to be back with you and hope things are going well with you. And Peggy and I are getting ready. We're hopefully about 4 or 5 days away from going to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually Valentine's Day 2025. And we're excited about going to Florida and getting out of the cold weather. As you can see in the background, lots of snow. Although that's not a real picture, but it's snowy here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and it's cold. It's very cold. But today we thought, well, almost forgot, our channel's all about family and personal growth and our retirement story and our travels. So, but today we thought we'd do something a little bit different. We've done book reviews in the past, but we usually just do 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. But this one, we're going to talk about 10 or 11 books we'd give our right arms for if we could read them for the first time again. Everybody knows how exciting it is when you read a great book and for the first time, and if it's a great book, you're just so excited, and there's certain books you read in your life that, man, you wish you could go back and read them again for the first time to have that excitement. They're still fun to read the second or the third or the 40th time, but you can't recreate the first time feeling, can you?
No,
No?
unless you lose your memory and go back, oh, this looks like a really good book.
Yeah, so I guess if you have Alzheimer's,
Dementia or whatever.
maybe it's possible then, but we don't want that to happen.
No.
So Peggy's going to start us out here with the first book.
Okay, this book is, I read about when I was in college in a young adult literature class, and the first book in this is called A Long Way from Chicago by Richard Peck, where a couple of youth go down to visit their grandma in Illinois, and the place is called La Place. And it's actually a real town in Illinois.
We used to live near it.
Yes, we were about a half mile from friends who lived in La Place, and it is like there's nothing there.
You want to show them
Anyway,
the
this
cover?
is a year down yonder. I wanted to tell you about the first book, which is A Long Way from Chicago. This is the second. This is a sequel. This is, well, it's only the girl who goes down, and she spends a whole year with her grandma Dowdle, and Mrs. Dowdle is like one of the greatest characters in literary history.
Yeah.
She's her ways of getting supplies are incredibly creative. Anyway, I'm not going to go into any of it. It's so funny. It is a Newbery Medal Award winner. So is the Long Way from Chicago is also a Newbery Award winner.
It's good. It's small town humor.
Yes, it was copyrighted in 2000. So anyway, it's just I keep using the word hilarious a lot.
But it
I
is.
don't know what other word to call it. It's fun. It is a fun thing to read. Great for road trips. Okay.
All right, my first one, we're both going to do 5, and Peggy has an extra one. My first book is Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. And this is a story about, it's fiction, but it's a lot of fun.
No, it's not.
It's a story. Have you ever read it?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
It's not Peggy's favorite.
No, I loved it. I think I got it
Oh,
first.
are you kidding? You said it's not.
Oh, you said it's fiction. I said, no, it's not.
Okay. It is fiction.
Yeah,
last I knew, seagulls couldn't talk and tell us about what their goals are in life. But a hilarious story about Jonathan Livingston Seagull, who is a seagull that he wants to be different, he wants to grow, he wants to improve himself. And so he tries to do things to improve himself, and of course, all the other seagulls are just regular seagulls. They think he's weird, and they don't want him to be different. And it's a lot like humans. Sometimes people hold us back when we want to try and improve ourselves. But it's funny, it's sad, and great book, great book. I think it's considered a classic by most people.
Yeah, motivational.
Here's one quote from the book. "We choose our next world through what we learn in this one. Learn nothing, and the next world is the same as this one." So it's about personal growth, and whether you're a seagull or a human. So, okay, Peg.
Okay. Let's go right on to, I'm going to do the next one, is also one I found in my study of young adult literature, which to me, I don't believe exists anymore. I was part of a book club that was, mail-in book club, whatever, and I ordered the young adult literature box, and the book I got, I can't remember the name of the book, but the character was a teenager who met some person in a car passing and got in, had sex within the first 2 pages, and the mouth was, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I can't do it. This book is actually, I guess they call them youth books now. It's called The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney. She also wrote the books Whatever Happened to Janie, The Voice on the Radio, What Janie Found and What Janie Saw. So this one is called The Face on the Milk Carton. It's copyrighted 1990. Janie is about 14, 15 years old, and she is at lunch with her friends, and she's lactose intolerant, so she never drinks milk, but they're around having their lunch, and someone kind of throws a milk carton at her, or she ends up with it in her hands, and she's looking at it, and it's during that time when they used to put people's faces on milk cartons for missing kids, and she looks at the missing kid, and she recognizes the little dress that this girl is wearing, and the girl's about 3 years old, and she looked at it, and she recognized the dress, and she recognized the photo, and she realized that was her. And so that is her beginning, the beginning of the story. And you can read the rest of it through the other books. They're so good. It's one of my good books.
All right. My next one is All Creatures Great and Small by James Herriot. This is a series. It's got several. Some of the other books are called All Things Bright and Beautiful, All Things Wise and Wonderful, The Lord God Made Them All. And that's it's from a Bible verse. And but this is it's mostly autobiographical, but I think he probably, like most people, he probably took a little bit of artistic license. But he was an actual vet over in Great Britain, and he tells about his life as a vet, and it's hilarious. Peggy and I have read this several times. It's a classic in our opinion, and wonderful.
I think it's heartwarming.
Very heartwarming. That's a good word.
Yeah.
All right, Peg.
Okay. Next book, one I read in high school. My mom gave it to me to read. She found it. Um, it's called The Shell Seekers by Rosamund Pilcher. Let me look at my little quick notes. Okay, it was copyright 1987. It's about, the main character's name is Penelope Keeling, and she's in her late 70s. She has 3 children, 2 who think she's failed as a mother, they're grown children, and 1 who they just get along really well. This book is the name, The Shell Seekers, is actually the name of a painting that Penelope Keeling. Penelope Keeling's dad was an artist, and it was right around the same, a little bit later than the time of Monet and Renoir and everything, but it was more impressionist, and the Shell Seekers just was on their wall while the kids were growing up, and it's just like wallpaper, you don't pay attention. And so Penelope's getting older, she's looking at her assets, her estate, and all these things, and starts looking into things, and her kids start worrying and start plotting, and what are we getting out of this, etc. So it's a great story. And I'll tell you, I won't tell any more about it. That's it. But it is classic as far as what adult children do as their parents get older, and what am I going to get? What am I going to get? How much are you going to get for this? Blah blah blah. And
It's a good story.
yeah, excellent story.
All right, my next one is The Giver by Lois Lowry. This is on other people's lists of favorite books, some of them, and great story. It's fiction. It's taking place in the future, and society has evolved, I guess some people would say. I would say devolved, but people live in small colonies, I guess most of them, and they're underneath domes. Everything is controlled by the government. The weather, how many kids you can have, what you wear, what you eat, what you think, what you say, and I think it's a great story about, there's one, well, the giver is the person who holds all the knowledge of human history, but everybody else, to protect them, they have had all the bad things and a lot of the good things from history are erased from their memories, so they don't have to be, what's it called, their buttons can't be pushed. They don't know what pain is, they don't know what fear is, they don't know what love is anymore. And great story. There's one boy who is asked to be the new giver and given this job, and that's where the story takes off, and it's wonderful. I think you would love this, so give it a shot.
And there's at least one movie. I'm sure there's an older version, a pretty new one, and they stick to it pretty close.
Yep. Okay, Peg.
Okay. My next one is William J. Bennett's The Book of Virtues. This is awesome. We got this from, let's see, where did we get it? I think Bob retrieved. Yeah, he received it in 1994. He was a high fiver, Central Region VSA.
Boy Scouts gave it to me.
Yeah, regional director gave it to him. Congratulations. It's like awesome. One of our great books. It is, find exactly what I want to say about it. Okay, it's a treasury of great moral stories. It was written in 1993. Some of the morals they list, actually all of them, I'm going to read all the morals that they list. They're categorized in chapters. And one of them, okay, it starts out self-discipline, compassion, responsibility, friendship, work, courage, perseverance, honesty, loyalty, and faith. And what is in here are stories and poems, just some small, almost like, I want to say daguerreotype or the kind of art on dollar bills, that kind of illustration in some of the areas, and very, very good to just have around, pick up and read once in a while. Or just
So self-improvement.
yeah, and you know, I think a lot of these virtues are gone by the wayside, but anyway, I love the book.
It's great. My next one is The Land Remembers by Ben Logan. This is a story about a person who grew up in western Wisconsin, where I grew up, and which is one reason it's near and dear to my heart, but it's also very well written. The stories are hilarious, and it's real life. He talks about his life growing up, how his family interacted. There's one story he talks about, they grew corn. They grow a lot of corn in Wisconsin. And somebody, a hobo, a homeless person, they didn't know it at the time, but somebody was stealing some of their corn right out of their field. And they end up catching the author's dad catches the person, and the author is with his dad. And instead of the dad kicking him off his land or holding him for the police, it's a great story. His dad fills up the bag that the guy has with corn and tells him, you know, take it, you need it. And he taught a great story to his son. He taught his son a great principle by doing that. And wonderful book. Highly recommend it to you. So, Peggy?
Okay, he's got memories of that because his family would go twice a month or something like that to
I had
his
an uncle and an aunt that had a farm down there and
Harley and Helen, and
spent a lot of time down there.
yeah, and we spent a lot of time in Wisconsin. We were first married, and it's beautiful. It's also very humid in the summer. The book that I have here is A Single Shard. It is written by Linda Sue Park, and the copyright was 2001. It is a book, takes place in Korea in the 12th century, or 1200, 1200. It is about an orphan boy whose name is Tree Ear. He's given that name by a man who looks after him. And he's an orphan. They live under a bridge, and they have to scour and find food. And one day, this Tree Ear, he's about 10 years old or so, he goes behind a potter's. The potter does his pots and wheels and things like that outside, and so this boy watches him, and the potter's name is Min, and he's the best potter in the area. In the area, there's a celadon is the beautiful finish of this clay that's in that area. Okay, I can't get into that too much. It's just gorgeous. I'm an artist, and it's like that's really interesting to me. The
It's a
book,
great story.
the book is called A Single Shard, and what goes on with this boy, trust and commitment and friendships and all these things that he learns. He becomes an emissary, still at a young age, that has to take a single shard of his mentor's pot, because all that's left, and he goes to see if he can get a commission to have his mentor to get a commission from the royal embassy, or I think the emperor, and all the pots get destroyed by vandals. Anyway, and I'm going way too long. I know I am. I tried to be better the rest of the time, but anyway, it's fantastic story, and it is it's also a Newbery Award winner. Can't say enough about it.
It's a great book.
Man, it's great.
Okay, my last one is Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. And it's a great Western. The TV miniseries, if you have never seen that, follows the book almost exactly.
It's got Robert Duvall
Yeah,
as one. Anyway.
yeah, a lot of great actors in it. I don't know if I've ever had a book, maybe To Kill a Mockingbird, maybe the movie is as good as the book. Very few books, I think most people would agree, very few movies about books ever are nearly as good as the book is. And To Kill a Mockingbird and Lonesome Dove, I think, are two of the few that do. But it's a Western. It's got great characters in it. Captain Call and Gus. They're both retired Texas Rangers, and it starts out pretty slow, but they get this dream to start a cattle ranch up in Montana. They're down in Texas. But here's one quote. Then Peggy will have her last book for us. It ain't, and this is Gus talking, it ain't dying I'm talking about, it's living. I doubt it matters where you die, but it matters where you live. And Gus is a poet.
Yeah, he's
his
kind of
character.
a philosopher.
Yeah. And great book. Highly recommend it. Okay,
Yeah.
Peggy, finish us off quick here.
Okay. Oh, no, I still have two.
Oh, that's right. You started her. Okay, quickly then.
Two.
We're up to 23 minutes.
All right, we're doing okay then. All right, this is The Jolly Christmas Postman. There's another book called The Jolly Postman and Other People's Letters. And so this is by Janet and Alan Albert about the Christmas Postman. And it's a poetic throughout the book. It has letters. I don't know how well you can even see this. But this one goes to Miss R. Hood, the Playhouse, Garden Path, Diddle Dumpling. And here's this from Mr. Wolf to R.R. Hood, this festive time of year, a little gift for being good, and a Merry Christmas, dear. P.S. I am a changed wolf. And in this one, you get an entire board game. And in this book, you get different letters have different things, like a board game. Red Riding Hood sends a letter to the wolf and makes a joke of how to spot a wolf, and one is about the three little pigs. There's one for the okay, here's the one for H. Dumpty, Humpty Dumpty, and you get a puzzle from, says, Dear Dumpty, get well soon from all the king's men and horses. Merry Christmas. Just very so cool and clever. And we have our own 4-book set of our Christmas Chronicles, which I think we said on a tradition thing, of all of our Christmas cards we've ever sent out. And this was a big inspiration for doing more in our own Christmas books.
Yep. All right, what's our last book, Peg?
The last book, oh my goodness. The author, I didn't know about very well. Stephenie Meyer. We all know Stephenie Meyer was the one who wrote the Twilight series. So, and I started to read Twilight. And first I tried to read it myself. I had not seen the movie. I tried to read it myself. I got 8 pages in, I can't do that. So I had a book on CD, and it was even worse because the whiny little character, oh my gosh, she was so whiny. Anyway, I thought, Stephenie Meyer, I don't think I could read anything else. This book is called The Host. I don't know if I got that there for you. The Host is, the world has, it's Earth, and it's gone through, I don't know how far in the future this is, but it's been taken over by an alien force, and they're called souls, and they're interesting worm-like kind of things. They get inserted into human bodies, and the human body is the host of this soul. This one girl, Melanie, she was with the human resistance when this alien life form came to take over, and she ran rather than have anything like this happen to her. She ran, went down, I think it was an elevator shaft, and she nearly died. The Seekers are people who go around looking for humans who have not been
Who escaped.
who escaped. So she escaped. She was barely alive. She was in not good shape. She was nearly didn't make it. Anyway, her name is Melanie, and she gets the soul is inserted into her neck, and this soul had been on 7 planets and has been a soul to 7 different life forms. And so this soul
So
gets,
most of the book is about their struggle.
right, because it turns out to be that Melanie does not give up her memory. She does not give up. Usually when the soul goes into the host, the soul just takes over the host, and it's them. They don't even, the person who was there doesn't even exist anymore. In this case, they're both in there. They have conversations. They have memories of, the girl has memories from life. The other one is the wanderer, has memories from that. I know, it's like, this is 500 and some pages.
It's gripping. Yeah.
Yes, it is incredibly gripping, and I think we've read it twice out loud. I've read it probably 5 times myself. It's a masterpiece, and I know I went on way too long, but the other ones weren't so bad. But this one is just so deep and deep and
It
amazing, and
good writing.
yes,
All
And
right.
the ending is awesome too.
Okay, well, that's 11 or 12. I lost
It's
track.
11.
11 or 12 books that we would give our right arms to be able to read for the first time again. So,
And fun to go back and read
oh
again.
yeah,
Especially my
yeah.
Jolly Christmas Postman.
I guess I would like to keep my right arm. So, but I think you get the point. They're that good.
Yeah.
So,
In no order, no special genre. It's just
no,
fun.
this
cool
was
books.
quite a variety, I think, of different types of books. So, but we highly recommend them. We loved them. We know people have different tastes, but give them a shot if you haven't read them.
Yeah, if you like our channel, and that's something we like. And if you feel any connection and kind of think maybe you'd be interested in them. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We'll probably do this 2 or 3 more times because we have many more books we would give our right arm to read for the first time again. And so we'll do this again sometime. So, but in the meantime, we love you guys and hope you enjoyed this. Hope this gives you a little more insight of what Rob and Peggy are like and what makes us tick. So, what's important to us. So, remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, okay? We love you.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.